Now for the absolutely hardest part of Symfony. I'm kidding. We're talking about templates. Those files where we mix HTML tags and dynamic data to build our page. We already saw that these are rendered using the templating service, usually from inside a controller. We also know that they're written in Twig, a language that feels a lot like PHP, but was made specifically to be awesome at doing templating tasks, like looping, rendering other templates, and handling layouts. If you haven't seen Twig before, trust me, you're going to love it. It's easy and a joy to work with. Twig only has 2 different tags, and we've already seen the first one, the print tag. No matter what, if you want to print something in Twig, then you'll use this double curly brace format. I call this the say something tag, and it's basically the same as opening up PHP and using echo. In our template, we're printing the name variable, which was passed to the template from the controller. The second tag is the do something tag. Its syntax is curly brace %, and we use it to do things like looping, defining variables, and if statements. It's easier to see, so let's pass the count variable into our template. Now use Twig's for tag to print the name a certain number of times. Refresh. There's a finite number of do something tags, and there's even a handy list on Twig's documentation page. Scroll down a little bit and check out the list on the left. So the double curly brace syntax prints things, and the curly brace % performs other language actions. If you've got this down, I'd say you've just about mastered Twig. Okay, I hate to lie to you, so there is a third tag, but it's just used to write comments. But wait, there's more! Twig has a lot of nice tricks in Sugar, like filters. We can use the upper filter to capitalize the name variable. If you're used to piping things together in a Unix terminal, this works the same way. Back on the documentation page, you'll find a big list of filters. Dang it, you can even use filters on top of filters. Twig also has functions and a cool thing called tests, which lets you write things like curly brace % if I is odd. But that's all just extra fun stuff. Despite all my Twig hype, our template is really depressing. It's got some HTML, but no layout. If only we had a base layout template that could decorate all of our page. Oh, right, there is one, and it lives in the app resource views directory. Actually, it's kind of plain too, but it has a basic HTML structure. To use this layout, we extend it. First, add the extends tag to the top of the index.html.twig template. Now wrap everything else in a curly brace % block body tag. Refresh and check out the source. The HTML from base.html.twig is being used, and the content from our template is rendered in the middle of it. Alright, let's break this down. The extends tag says that we want to dress our template with another template. Inside base.html.twig, we have a bunch of block tags. One of them is called body and looks just like what we added to our template. Blocks define holes that a child template can fill in. The content in the body block of index.html.twig is inserted into the body block of base.html.twig. There's also a title block, which already has content in it. This block has default content, which is working since the page title is indeed welcome. Let's replace it with something a bit less boring. We know how to do this now. Just add a title block to index.html.twig. And to be even lazier, there's a shorter syntax for simple blocks like this. The default blocks in base.html.twig are just suggestions. Feel free to change their names or add some more to have an even more flexible layout. The base.html.twig file name looks weird, but it's actually the exact same syntax we're using in our controller, just in disguise. Remember that a template name always has 3 parts: the bundle name, a subdirectory, and the template file name. In this case, the bundle name and subdirectory are just missing. When a template name has the bundle part, it means the template lives in the resources views directory of that bundle. But when this part is missing, like here, it means the template lives in the app resources views directory. And since the second part is missing too, it means it lives directly there and not in a subdirectory. In the browser, we're now staring at a killer feature of Symfony 2, the polite little bar on the bottom. This is the web debug toolbar, and you may end up loving it even more than the console. It tells us which controller was rendered, the page load time, memory footprint, security info, form details, and more. It's added automatically to any page that has a valid HTML structure, and that's why we didn't see it until we extended the layout file. Click anywhere on it to multiply the amount of information it gives you by 100. This is the profiler, which is broken down into sections. I hate to pick favorites, but the best one is the timeline. It visually tells us exactly what's going on during a request and how much time everything is taking. A lot of what you see here are background Symfony events.